Hi guys, this is Saloni and I have come in live for another session which will be related to another topic of relationship, and that would be with your siblings. I know many of you are struggling with siblings and the relationship with them. I know it's a very bittersweet relationship which we share with our siblings. So we'll just cover that topic once. And with us we have again Jyoti and Smriti. Okay. We are just waiting for them to join. So then, hey Jyoti.
Hi, Saloni.
Hi
Hi,
Smriti.
hi, Saloni. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. After a long time.
Yeah,
So how's it going? How was the
it's
weekend
great.
for you?
It's great.
Nice to hear that. So again, we have come here for another, session, which is relationship part three with our siblings. That is one of the relationship which is normally very neglected part. I feel so because nobody talks about it the more.
Mhm.
But I just want to know, what are the dynamics people share with their, siblings. And I also know that how this affects the other relationships as well, the relationship with your siblings, the kind of thought which we go through when, from our younger, because they are the first person we get connected to after our parents. That is our siblings, right? So it's very important that relationship part with our siblings, how strong they are or how weak they are, it affects all the other areas of our relationships as well. So just we'll talk about it. Let's start with Jyoti. Do you have any sibling, or and what is your dynamics with them?
I have a sibling. I have a younger brother. He is
Okay.
totally in a different country, and he's, as you said, siblings. It's also an age gap between both of us. Around 9 years of age gap is there between two of us.
Okay.
So it's like I can say generally generation gap does come in between siblings. Then I would say that mindset gap can come in a siblings. Then I would say that kind of education is also different. Different fields
That's
are there.
correct.
So that way also the siblings can be different from each other. And along with all these things, what is common in siblings, I would say, that is the only attachment, which is mentioned with this word sibling itself, I would say.
Yes, yes, correct.
Correct. So it's like it's just about going together as per the situation, I would say.
I would rather say it's a Tom and Jerry relationship. You cannot just live with them and you cannot just live without them. Jyoti, would you
I
agree with that?
I agree to that. But along with that, I would say that, it's kind of a person to person differences are there. And
Mhm.
to manage that, I would say, first of all, communication is the main source of that relationship. That
Yes.
if you keep on communicating with
I
your
think
siblings in a time,
communication is the basis of all relationship. I feel so. Even if it's
obviously
with
it's a
anyone, like the word relationship, I think resonates with the word communication because it's a two-way street, and two-way street can only be bridged through communication. There's no other way about
that's true. That's
it.
true.
Yes.
Correct.
That's true. So communication, but communication is also in a clarity-based communication, I would say. That sometimes if you're going through certain things, if you are not discussing with your siblings, then after some time, if they will come to know, they will suddenly realize that okay, these things are going, and I was not said by the particular sibling. Then the other feelings gets hurt.
Hmm.
These are the point. But at the same point of time, the other person should also understand that few things cannot be said straight away. It is to be said with some kind of, what can I say? Uh, some kind of measurement in thing
Sugar
also, I would say.
coating, correct? A sugar
Correct.
coating in a more a bit diplomatic way. But it doesn't work with siblings most of the time. They will be quite blunt. In fact, they will try to say that, you are the one who had been taken from the dustbin. So usually it is the kind of relationships people can have with their siblings. Right. Do you agree to that, Jyoti?
Saloni, my point of view is a relationship with a sibling is like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs. Okay, and it is incredibly strong no matter how much disconnections or disagreements may have happened. They are the only ones apart from your parents who will be and who are genuinely interested in your success, who will treat your success as their own success. So it will take some time, it will take some time for you to catch up with your friends, but it will take minutes or seconds to patch up with your siblings. That's my understanding, because you know what? They are the only ones who have, recognized you, seen you the way you were brought up, and why you were brought up the way you are, because they have traveled the same journey. So that's my understanding.
Actually, I want to ask something. Like there in basically when I hear about siblings thing, so it is very quite good when you are young, but the kind of thought process when they grow up with is, दो भाइयों के बीच में कभी बन नहीं सकते, the two brothers cannot be together. You have to take the responsibility since you are the elder one. You are the younger one, then you should be able to understand them. So these kind of thoughts which are feeded when we grow up, and that are feeded by definitely our elders most of the time, that kind of adversely affects somewhere the relationship. It's not mostly always their fault, but subconsciously they are thinking, okay, if I'm the elder one, I will always have to understand. Why should I always have to understand, right? If they are the younger one, they will get all the things, that the pampering. And if I'm growing up, the sisters or the brothers, they cannot be together. There will always this subconscious thought that they can have fights. So why is it so then, and how we can actually prevent, if not prevent, deal with it? Because that is very rampant in and around in our situation. It's not that everyone has a very hunky-dory relationship with their siblings. Some have bitter, some had sweet, some had bittersweet relations. But how do we deal with it in short?
I think, your relationship with your siblings, it cannot be always agreement. At times there will be disagreement. But the way we have been coded since our childhood, it is something like, if you are actually or genuinely not interested in your own success, you cannot see, you will have that switch of mind which has been coded. And that's how, our coaching comes into picture. You will have to take that switch wherein you need to be genuinely interested in your success, and once you will think about yourself, that's when you can take your siblings along with you, and that's when the success journey begins.
You want to say you cannot give something to someone unless and until you have it for yourself, correct?
If you do not have a free mind or success mind, you cannot make
that can convert into jealousy.
Maybe yes, it comes into picture.
Sure.
Well, I would say that if I say jealousy, then obviously that things comes. Jealousy is a kind of emotion which most of the time comes. People don't show that I'm jealous or something. But yes, it does come in between. At that point of time, your state of mind, higher state of mind, can actually take care of the things well.
I understand. So here a lot of things come into picture with how your state of mind is, right?
Yes.
And your personality. Definitely two people living in the same personalities, as we discussed in the partner one.
Yeah.
It comes also between the siblings also, right? Two different personalities will think two different ways. Even being in the same house, living in the same cultural, upbringing, same, values they have been brought up with, but still they will be quite different because their driving force can be completely different from each other.
Yeah, but as I said, state of mind. If two siblings are with a very high state of mind, both of them are with a very high state of mind, then obviously they themselves will find out a way,
Correct.
middle
Correct.
way. to
But
reach out at certain point.
I think someone has to take a lead, you know. So I will
That
not
exactly I
I will
will.
not give
Yes.
the responsibility to my sibling. Rather, I would be more than happy to take that responsibility. And if there is a disagreement,
Accountability.
yes,
Correct.
I will just go ahead and sort it out.
It's all about
That's
taking the
true.
responsibility rather than thinking it as a burden.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
when you take charge, we do not have to see it as like it's a burden of responsibility. It's basically a an accountability which I have taken. That means I have the charge, so I have the power. Even when you take that accountability,
Yes.
and I also believe that most of the things come from your defining experiences. How
Mhm.
you define certain experience of your childhood also affects a lot of relationship between the siblings.
Mhm.
So if a parent comes and tells you are younger or you are elder, you have to understand that they are younger to you. So then how they define it, like if I am elder, I will always be the one who have to understand no matter what my
Mhm.
desires are.
No, but
The other person
being an
might
elder, being an
yes,
elder, a person has to explain to younger one that you are also supposed to understand. That is also elder's responsibility. And when
yes,
the younger one will understand that yes, I'm also supposed to understand, then the elder don't need to understand much. Both
yeah.
of are at equal.
Well, that is what how we are coded, that is what I'm saying. It's all about the experiences, the defining how we define those particular experiences when we are brought up, when because the parent will say the same thing to both of them, right? But someone will define it in a completely different way, and the other will define it in a completely different way, depending upon their personalities and their state of minds, and definitely their baselines and how they are
And
driven.
when
Completely.
I would say that when the person grows, their experiences also differs, and because of that, the personality may change. I mean, not the
Correct.
person's, but person may get matured also, turn by
They
turn,
evolve. You want to say?
due to the experiences and all, and they might have their own experience level. So it's not necessary that the younger one or the elder one are always correct or
Yes.
something. They always have to be, I mean, the younger one can also have different experiences and they can discuss it out, I would say,
Correct. So
rather than just going ahead with blocks in mind. Sit on one and discuss it out with a very good state of mind, and after that take a charge. So this when this all things come together, the relationship flow will go nicely, I think.
yeah, it may be at times it may so happen, there is some action that has been taken by parent of us, all right, but there was some confusion that because she is elder or because she is younger, she has been provided that opportunity and why not me. So there may be ego clashes, or there may be disagreement. So that's when what Suki is saying, that there has to be an agreement that the elder one or the younger one can make the other person understand what exactly we are coming from. It's not about being privileged. It's about the necessity of the moment. Maybe I'm
Correct.
in class 10. Maybe I'm in class 10. So I need a tutor. And the person who is in class 6 or 7, the person doesn't need. But there may be a disagreement or this ego clash. So both have to be in agreement that, it is for your well-being. If this happens, then there will not be any clashes at all.
Basically, we have come to a point that if we really want to have a very fulfilling, healthy relationship with our siblings, the very first thing that is the accountability, and that accountability comes from the state of mind, right?
Correct.
That I have to have a good state of mind to take that accountability that I am going to take charge of the relationship, even if it's a disagreement. I will be the one to come and talk to that person
Correct.
instead of thinking that why I should always go and talk to the person. Correct.
I'll give you an example. Now that, being in this coach journey, now we understand about our personality type. But it did not happen in the past, when we are young. It did not happen. So I got to know that one of my sisters is a reformer. It is her mistake, but she will not, accept it, or she'll not
As
agree with it.
reformers are.
Yes, exactly. So I have to take a move, or I have to take that accountability and confront the things and get things sorted. So more or less, it depends on some attitude, ego, personality traits also. Even though you want to make things better, But for some time, there will be some clash. Then you'll have to genuinely be a peace-minded person to get things worked out.
I would actually also say that, the same thing happens. My brother is like 5 years elder to me. So it's more not of a friendly relationship, but of a, someone who is elder to me 5 years and will see me as a kid. So there's a little less of communication because a boundary has been set. And sometimes we always feel why the person doesn't communicate. And that creates a barrier. So I just, took that chance that I'm going to be the one who will take that accountability and try to bridge that gap between us. So that is how, and that is happened after I got that awareness of my personality and my state, that how it can change things, in bits and pieces. And I'm sure there are hundreds of siblings here on the call, people who know at least and who themselves have siblings and they are going through that Tom and Jerry phase and cat fights and bittersweet relationship. But ultimately, at the end, they are your siblings. They are the first person you connect with on this earth apart from your parents. Right.
Obviously, few
Yes.
things, few things which we cannot share with parents, we are going to share with our siblings. Many a time it happens.
Kind of, even if they say that they are the ones to beat you up, but they will not let others beat you.
Yeah, that's true. That's the way it is.
I am the only one who's going to beat them. That is the authority, that the right they have. That's an amazing relationship. Yes, so here we come to this part of the session, and it was an amazing, lovely talking to both of you. What we can suggest is from the next one, I would want other people, in our audience to give us input on what they really want to talk us about, any topic which they feel that is something they are struggling with, or maybe a majority of the people in and around them are struggling with, and we can take that up and we can definitely, have this conversation, and hopefully that gives them a very helpful insight on what the issue is. And if anyone has any questions, please let us know right now in the chat. We have a minute
Yes,
and we can
we
just
can wait for
yes,
some time for questions and we can revert.
yes, yes.
And also they can connect with any one of us so that, if they want to get more clarity about any particular aspect of their life, we are always there.
Yeah, be it relationships, be it, health, wealth, anything. So it's just about the mindset. So if someone is thinking that, okay, if they are into health, they might not be able to do with wealth, then there's a clarification that we are not someone who gives solutions or suggestions. So that works for every field. So even if I will not give the person any sort of solution or a suggestion or an advice. So I'll just help them get that awareness and that mindset, and they will be able to walk on their own path.
That makes
Basically,
mentoring with a coaching. So we are not mentors, we are coach.
We are coaches, exactly. Anyways, I think
basically,
there are no questions from anyone as of now. So if anyone wants to have any query, if they have any query, they can connect to us personally, and we will surely get and assist them with that.
Sure.
Okay, it was
basically,
lovely talking to you two
as
lovely
a coach,
ladies.
basically as a coach, our job is to make the person realize that life is beautiful.
Yes, it is indeed. With all the problems, जितनी भी भसड़ मची हो उसके बीच में भी जिंदगी
Life is
खूबसूरत है.
beautiful. I totally agree. So, anytime reach us out. We are here to
This
help
is
you out.
Saloni and
Niti
this is
and
Jyoti and
Niti,
Smita.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, nice talking to you. We'll meet again in the next session soon, very soon.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.